Well, and that kind of thinking is used every day, not even just in science. The ability to like discern and make a decision and say, if I do this and X happens, then I'm going to go here and do this. And you put it into practice constantly when you pick your toothpaste, when you clean your kitchen, when you get in your car. It's constantly that way of thinking, and it's really, really important and crucial.
Everybody has curiosity. Everybody does science.
Yeah, all the time.
Ain't it great? Season 8. We're back with the No Dishes podcast. Once again, brought to you by our friends at Visit Bloomington. Check them out at visitbloomington.com. It's a great resource, even if you're just a local looking for something to do. Also, all of our other advertisers on this episode, they help make this whole thing possible. So please show them some love. Anyways, play that theme song.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. Oh, no dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine for lights and have a good time. No dishes, no dishes.
Welcome to another episode of the No Dishes podcast. We're branching out again. No restaurant, but this one might leave you filled with a little bit of wonder. I'm here with Executive Director Dallas Evans and Marketing Director Aleisha Kropf. Yeah, nailed it. Thank you guys for being here. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Okay,
pretty good.
I think we can ditch the glasses now.
They're pretty trippy.
That was great. No, that was awesome.
They worked pretty well.
I wonder if I could go the whole. Are you going to try it?
We'll see.
You are much braver than me.
So for those that don't know, what is WonderLab?
WonderLab is a great family learning center. Somewhere people can go and explore, do science, get hands-on activities, see great exhibits, see great programs. It's really a good cornerstone for science education in Bloomington and the surrounding area.
I love it. Located right off 4th Street in the Beeline.
Yep.
And it's a nonprofit, correct?
Correct.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then, so what's the mission is to is it to educate children in a hands-on way, or what's maybe the overarching mission of WonderLab?
Well, we like to say that it's for the entire family. So anybody any age can go in there. It's a great place for learning, for science learning. We see a lot of intergenerational learning. So parents, of course, with kids, grandparents with kids. That's one of the things I love to see most of all is the interaction between families. It's not just one learning, it's two learning together. Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing.
You know, anytime my nieces and nephews are in town, we go to WonderLab.
Yes.
Oh, good. That's good to hear.
I have more fun than they. They have a lot of fun, so I'm not trying to downplay how much fun they have, but I probably have the most fun. I love just playing with the water. Mm-hmm. I did the same thing at the Children's Museum when I was growing up. I just there's something about directing water that I find very fun. So these rainstorms lately have been great for me because I've been going out there at the ditch these leaves and sticks are in the way, and WonderLab prepared me for that. So I just want you to know that.
Well,
that
you're
I'm very
welcome.
grateful.
That is very cool.
Because of WonderLab, my garage didn't flood.
Wait, then why did my garage flood?
You need to play in the water more.
Obviously, I gotta get out from behind the desk.
Well, I love everything. You guys have done some adult-only nights, all these cool things that, again, do reach more of the community than just students.
Right.
I guess, can you walk through, and Aleisha, this might be more directed to you, some of the events that you guys put on throughout the year at WonderLab?
Oh, we definitely have an arc of the year, for sure. Let's see. Some of our biggest events are what we would call our blockbuster events, and they usually take place over a weekend. So we have something coming up in June called Bubblefest.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, which is 2 days of Bubbletastic, pop on over to the museum fun, right? We have our normal bubble exhibits, but then we transform the museum into a festival of all things bubble. So everywhere for 2 days. That's at the end of June this year, coming up June 26th. I
feel like if there's one descriptor I haven't used on this podcast enough, it's Bubbletastic.
Bubbletastic.
I'm going to start describing food that way. It was bubble, had a mimosa, Bubbletastic.
Bubbletastic, right?
That would work.
It's a good
Champagne.
time.
Yes,
champagne,
exactly. Yeah. Anything that has a little effervescence, you know?
There's all kinds of words you can use. It's
and you guys, it's just everything you guys do, I feel like a lot of people in the community appreciate, but there's something that they don't know about. I have a friend that's getting married there, like in October. So it's not only just this incredible place for multi-generational, intergenerational learning, but it's also kind of an event venue for those that want it to be.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the things we say about our weddings is that it's the unique venue for that certain couple who enjoys and wants a science, fun, hands-on, playful wedding.
I love that.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of weddings, but we have enough that we are a legit wedding venue, and people come and they dress up and they do the stuff and they play with the exhibits.
Yeah, so they're all like, all the exhibits are live and ready to go and interactive and part of the wedding.
Yeah, absolutely. People will have their reception either indoors. Sometimes in the summer, we'll have the ceremony outdoors in the garden. Mm-hmm. And then the reception will be inside. Lots to play with, food, catering, music. Just a good time.
Yeah, no, that's what I think what they're doing is the garden. I feel like you have to say it like it's very classy.
The garden.
Oh, we're having the reception in the garden.
The garden.
Yeah. It's a lawn party.
It's a lawn party, yeah.
And then moving in for the reception.
Yeah. I mean, and it can, it depends on weather, time of year, that kind of thing. But sure, we have lots of events, though, at the museum. People rent it, different kinds of parties. What are things that come up? Retirement parties, departmental parties, like work type things.
I feel like that could be
birthdays, anniversaries, you name it.
Yeah, some like teamwork, like exercises.
Yeah.
It's like,
Absolutely.
In this line of work, in sales, you need to face your fear. So you're going to take this Madagascar cockroach, you're going to hold it.
Yep.
And if you can do that, you can make the sale.
There you go. Right? And people... People even rent our space, though, like during the day, like when the museum's open. So people will have business meetings in our lab rooms if they're available.
Oh, okay.
That kind of thing.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when are you guys generally open? And then what's that kind of the clientele look like throughout the day? Because I know you have school buses come and drop 100 kids off at once.
Yeah. Do you want me to answer that?
Please.
Okay. I think I might make it through with these glasses on. We'll see.
No, you're doing great.
So we're open Tuesday through Sunday. Museum is closed on Mondays, most Mondays, I should say, for maintenance, that kind of thing. Tuesday through Sunday. Tuesday through Friday, Thursday 9 to 6, Friday and Saturday 9 to 5, and Sundays 1 to 5.
All right, lots of opportunities.
Lots
to
of opportunities.
Get some interactive, hands-on learning.
Exactly, and if you're someone who is looking for a cheaper way to visit WonderLab, we do have our Super Sundays, which is like the first Sunday of the month, where it's $10 admission, $10 admission.
Wow.
Yeah, and we still have special masking times for folks who are immunocompromised who want to come when it feels a little safer.
That's great.
Yeah, so you just check out our website; it's all there.
Yeah, very accessible for anyone,
Exactly. And you asked what our client what does it look like? It's busy. Spring is a busy time of year, right?
Great.
It's great. So we have a lot of field trips, people coming and going. But that said, even if there are field trips, you can still pop by for a visit. There's room at WonderLab. There's plenty to do. Most of the kids that are on field trips are all wearing the same shirt, so you're not going to lose your family.
That's perfect.
Yeah. And you also mentioned what other events, like we have these festivals like Bubble Fest. We have a new festival coming up in July called Science Fest, which is like laboratory sessions and demos.
Ooh.
Yeah, like things that go boom and
like demos. Like demolition demos.
Not
demolition demonstrations.
Demonstrations. We should say demonstrations. But, things go boom and things burn, and science can be messy and loud and fun. And
I'm sold.
That's what Science Fest is.
It's like Science Fest. Things go boom and things burn. Sign up here.
Sign up. Yeah. Come see us in July.
Okay.
Yep.
I know. Yeah. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
We're not even a hard sell.
For sure.
So can you guys describe some of the exhibits that people can see there? Is that the right word, exhibits?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
I love the Grapevine Climber. Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorites. I think probably a steadfast favorite of a lot of the people who visit. Have you climbed it?
I've not.
What? Why not?
Where you climb up all both. What is it? 3 levels?
Well, 2.
2, but to the top of the thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty big. I don't know.
It's designed for adult humans.
Okay. See, I don't know. I've been selling myself short. I've just been too busy playing in the water.
Right.
But I have great pictures with my nieces and nephews. Like I'm on the stairs, they're at the top, a little selfie while they're like in there. So it's a grapevine. I've always thought of those as like a spider web climber or something. Because there was one in, there was a park up in Indy that had one of those. I'm sure there's tons of other parks.
Well, that designer has done that kind of exhibit at other places. Okay. For sure. So yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But I love that one partially because it's a great photo op.
You
can get on that second level and click pictures of the kids in it.
So
the adults in it.
Have you climbed it?
Oh.
Barely. just a couple steps in.
I didn't know if that
That's
was
about
part
it.
of the interview process. Was we're going to time you.
That'd be hilarious.
It was a part of a photography process. That's probably why I didn't go any farther.
Okay.
I was like,
Oh my God. So
good.
I have a challenge for both of you.
Okay.
To the top.
Are we racing?
No, you don't. I mean, I'm not a wagering person.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, you
Well, I didn't
should.
even talk about wagers. Yeah, I'll do a gallon of ice cream versus a free pass. How
Oh,
about
wow. I like that.
You could make it to the top, I think. I believe in you.
All right, next time I go, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make my nieces and nephews proud. They're going to be like, that's my uncle and he's cool.
Right?
Or that's my uncle and he got stuck.
Either way, that's cool. We could get a
Italy's
picture
are
of
cool.
Dallas climbing up it and post that too.
We could.
Yeah.
Or the bed of nails.
Oh,
Well, you guys do the bed of nails?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't remember seeing it. I just,
What?
I'm sorry. I'm not joking when I say I'm distracted by the water.
Okay.
I just play in the water. I go around. I remember the cockroaches. I remember the grapevine climber. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah. Thank you,
Very
Garrett.
good. Yes.
Yeah. Every day that I'm at the office, I go and lay on the bed of nails at least once.
Is it like, does it just release like?
I think of it as kind of massaging
Yeah,
personally, but a lot of people are afraid of it.
It's all about. It's teaching people about spreading out pressure, and yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And now I have to ask about water. Why are you drawn to water?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not even like I like swimming, but I'm not like I'm a good swimmer.
Uh-huh.
You know, but it's like and it's not even water. It's like directing it. It's like
Okay.
guiding it, like, ooh, I'm going to make you go over here. And then like, oh, I'm going to build this. Like I had a creek in my backyard growing up and I love to like build a dam and make the water go over here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a running joke with me and my friends, my obsession with just like babbling brooks, you know, just water cascading down, like just in a creek. Like obviously the flooding has sucked recently, but
Yes.
like it makes it for some pretty cool creeks.
Okay.
Well, and the water table is perfect for you because that's the whole point of it.
Yes.
It's got all these things that you can build in direct water and do stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what other exhibits have we not covered here? Because I know you guys have a ton. We don't need to go over every single one. But we got cockroaches, we got bed of nails, we got the water. I know there was one other one we discussed. Oh, we got plane and sand.
Oh yeah, that's the virtual reality, the augmented reality sandbox. Excuse me.
I love it because it's like I feel like this isn't something that most cities our size have.
No,
Is
not at all.
that is it safe to say that?
It is.
I think it's safe
Like
to say
I feel
that.
like Bloomington is very fortunate to have something like WonderLab, where kids can go and adults alike.
And I think one of the unique things about WonderLab are the live animals. Most museums do not have live animals.
Huh.
So that's a big draw.
Well, do you have to feed the cockroaches?
Feed the cockroaches.
What do they
Absolutely.
eat?
Oh, that's a good question.
We're
I know the answer to
We're
that.
know the answer?
We're diving into the nitty gritty here. Let's
Okay.
see.
The bigger question, and maybe I'll tell you, maybe I won't, is why I know the answer, but I do know the answer. And the answer is that they eat vegetables, different kinds of salads, and some different proteins that we give them every day.
Huh. Are you wanting to move better, feel better, and live better? Look no further than Move Bloomington, where their small group personal training programs are designed to improve strength, balance, and flexibility. With a welcoming environment, their expertly guided workouts can help you feel supported in the life and activities you love in and out of the gym. Whether you're new to exercise, a lifelong athlete, or anywhere in between, their dedication to personalized programming will deliver sessions that meet you where you are. Get started today using the code NODISHES to get 50% off their 3-session Kickstart program. I don't know if you just stuck a 2x4 in there and called it a day.
They gnaw on it. No, they get a very delightfully prepared salad every single day by our crack animal staff.
Oh, so you have staff specifically there to care for the animals.
And they're very good at it.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, 365 days of year, whether we're open or not, those animals have to be fed,
Yeah.
watered, and cleaned.
Well, that leads me to another question that I thought of earlier and hadn't gotten to. But yeah, talking about the staffing, the positions, everything it takes to run the WonderLab. Obviously, you're covering marketing. You're looking over, the more broad view. What are some of the other positions and things that make WonderLab go?
We have visitor experience people who make sure every experience in the museum is one that's fun, that questions are answered, that people get checked in. We have museum experience people who also do that.
They work the floor. They're there to interact with you when you're in the galleries. They can answer questions. They can play with you. They can interact with your kids, kind of thing.
Awesome.
We have, of course, admin staff and development.
Yes.
Helping to keep us run. Marketing, of course.
Ooh, marketing staff.
Volunteer are there and interns.
Interns, yeah. Volunteer
Those are a big part of
coordinator.
it.
membership managers. I mean, there's a lot of staff.
Yeah, we've worked
Education department. We can't forget the education department. They're responsible for all the educational like programming and messaging that goes into everything we do. And then of course exhibits and facilities. They do the facilities and the exhibits as their title says, which seems obvious.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it. But the animal care is in there.
Yeah.
I have to say, that's one of the first things I learned is they consider the animals staff.
Oh.
Yeah, we call them ambassadors.
Oh, that's so great. Do they all have like little business cards?
Oh, that would be cool.
They don't, but
And
they
name tags.
should. Why they have name tags, but why don't they?
That's actually the whole reason I invited you guys here. I have all these ideas that I wanted to just
not a
run
bad
by
idea.
you.
Yeah.
Most of them about hissing cockroaches. Yeah.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
Are the
Water and
cockroaches?
cockroaches. Everything
That's
else
it.
I'll leave to you.
Are the cockroaches your favorite animal that we have
Oh
there?
God, no. I'll look at it. I wouldn't touch one. I'm a 35-year-old man and I have zero desire. I'm just like that. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever grow out of that. Have you guys have handled them or?
Oh, so
Many times, yeah.
much.
All right, well,
Wait, you
I
haven't?
need to grow
Gauntlets
up.
thrown.
I'm sorry. I'm just
Climber cockroaches.
Yes.
we need the third C before we're done today. We'll figure it out. So how many, we mentioned all these different positions. How many full-time, part-time staff do you guys need to make this all work?
We have about 30 people, a staff of 30
Wow.
between full and part-time. So it's quite a few to keep it running.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I know you've mentioned or alluded to a couple times here, Dallas, where, I just learned you've just started in this role.
Just started. I'm not even full month in yet.
Wow,
Yeah,
less than a
so
month.
New to Bloomington, new to WonderLab.
You're not. It's 2 days short of a month, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, welcome.
Well, thank
Glad
you.
to have you here in Bloomington. What kind of walk us through your background and what brought you here?
Okay, I'm going to give you two versions then.
Perfect.
I'll give you the professional version and the one I tell kids, because I like the one I tell kids much better.
This is perfect.
The professional one is I've always studied natural history, and my first adult job was at the Children's Museum, their natural history curator. And it was a great job. They do a lot with natural history. They have an active collection. Halfway through, they decided, okay, let's build a dinosaur gallery. So that was a major part of my life for years, is acquiring dinosaurs, getting the gallery up and running, of doing a lab. What I tell kids is for a while, for a living, I got to go out and find and buy dinosaurs, which is a little strange buying them. And I got to go out and dig them too and bring them back to the museum and then prepare them in front of people.
Wow. And are you referring to the Indianapolis Children's Museum?
Indy Children's
I had
Museum.
a feeling. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I grew up in Indy and have many fond memories of going there.
Oh,
and
great.
I have one friend who is particularly obsessed with dinosaurs. So I'm going to tell him to watch this episode, see how jealous he gets, and he might just make a full career change if he now that he knows that's possible.
It is absolutely possible.
Because see, I tell people like I didn't know growing up you could have a career in ice cream. So I run an ice cream company. You might not know
I
this
did not
because
know
we've
that.
not
Wow.
met.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been there for almost 11 years now, and I always tell people that like they're like, oh, grown up, what do you want to be? Like, I want to be a teacher, a firefighter, an astronaut. Like they don't tell you can have a career in ice cream, just like they don't tell you that you can have a career buying dinosaurs.
Wow.
I know.
I actually like this because I was in a car with David Wolf, the astronaut,
Oh wow.
and he's like, we've got two of the jobs that kids love the best represented in this car.
Yeah, you do.
It would be three. Ice cream would be
cream,
right,
yeah.
it would be right up there.
For sure. No little kid's like, I want to be in marketing.
They know it, but then they just don't say it that way.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Marketing's great.
They might
Fun.
see cool commercials and be like, ooh, I want to come up with those.
Right.
And then later down the line.
But marketing is science. Children's Science Center is the best. So.
Yeah, I am fortunate that I get to do a good amount of marketing through Chocolate Mousse, Food Truck Friday, some other things that I do where that it's like I get that creative outlet, which a lot of jobs, they already have people like yourself that steal the joy and I get, so I'm just going to, well, you get all the joy. I'm saying it's great.
That's funny.
Aleisha, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
My background?
Yeah, how long have you been at WonderLab?
Oh, I started at WonderLab in 2013 in the exhibits department, and I was the animal exhibits manager for a few years. Very part-time because I was mostly home raising my kids. So it was like a glorified cage cleaning job at the time when I took it.
And you've made your way up.
And I made my background is actually in marketing, in nonprofit marketing and communication.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And that's what I did full time until my kids were born, and then part time while they were little. And then I happened to be at WonderLab when this job came open. I'd been there a few years and I tossed my hat into the ring. for it.
Are you from Bloomington originally?
No, I am from Northern Indiana,
Okay.
actually. And then I lived in Indianapolis for several years, about 10 years, and then moved to Bloomington in 2001.
All right. Yeah, you got me beat by a solid 8 years or so.
I mean, I'm
We're
a little older.
So there's a saying here in town, being a college town, being a townie, means you're from Bloomington or you're like not at the university. So I've always thought or said like once you hit 10 years, even if you didn't go to high school here, that you qualify as a townie.
Okay.
So I think we both qualify.
I always thought it was a Bloomerang because I went to college here.
So my understanding of Bloomerang is you live in Bloomington, you move away,
Right.
and then you can't help but come back.
Oh, because I went to college here and I moved away and
So I
came
think
back. So I don't know.
That qualifies as Bloomerang.
Okay.
But I've never left. I came here, fell in love, and just stayed. So I don't get Bloomerang status. I don't have that.
So am I a Bloomerang
badge.
or a townie? I don't know. Maybe
You're both. Yeah, you can be both.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
what made you fall in love with Bloomington?
it's the variety of restaurants. So I've worked in restaurants since I was 15. So the eclectic culinary scene we have here, as many guests on this podcast have been able to attest to, is that it punches way above its weight for a city of our size. The university has a lot to do with that, with 4th Street and all the ethnic offerings there. And I just like that, close proximity to family helps. It's not the big city, but I can still get to a Pacers or Colts game in an hour or less.
Fever.
Yeah, exactly. A Fever game.
All
We got
right.
Caitlin Clark now.
Yeah.
100%. I saw they just had the women's Final Four. and
NCAA.
It went from like
UConn.
10 million with Caitlin Clark to like 3 million. It was still great because Paige Beckers
Oh,
and UConn
they had a stunning game.
are incredible. But even then, without Caitlin Clark, it just dropped. And it's like that Caitlin Clark effect is incredible.
It's huge.
But yeah, Gamebridge Fieldhouse, Pacers, Fever. It's all close. Family's close. But the restaurant scene, and then I just I've been able to work my way up, and it's all about who you know. And I feel like I've made so many connections in Bloomington and so many people, not only from a professional standpoint, but just that are general, just good friends, that I have a hard time ever seeing myself leaving, because that's tough to kind of go somewhere new, start from scratch, both professionally and just from, a social standpoint of having a good group of friends that you like, So where did you get your start? And you just moved to Bloomington. Where'd you come from?
Actually, my wife and I have talked about moving to Bloomington for decades.
Wow. Okay.
When we were undergraduates at Ball State, we used to come here to go to Blooming Foods, first of all.
Nice.
And kind of hike the countryside. We'd also walk down Kirkwood. And I hate to say this, we'd walk around the campus to say, oh, this is such a beautiful campus. I mean, Ball State's great too, but there's a beauty here. There's just, it looks magnificent.
Someone that all 3 of my older siblings went to Taylor University in Upland, Indiana, 30 minutes north of Muncie. And I had quite a few friends that went to Ball State, went there and hung out. And yeah, Ball State was nice, but I don't think the campus maybe rivals IU when it comes to beauty.
True.
Check to you this summer. It's the Smithville Communications Summer Concert Series in Ellettsville. Brought to you by B97 and Hoosier Country 105.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Enjoy live music every Saturday from May 24th through July 26th. That's 10 weeks of music every Saturday evening from 6:30 to 8. Located at the Marcy J. Lewis Park. And did I mention it's free? Dance the night away with the Smithville Communications Summer Concert Series in Ellettsville.
And we've always discussed moving here, and it was like, okay, I promise if we're in Indiana, when we get near retirement age, we want to be in Bloomington.
That's great.
This is just all part of it. It worked out well. The job opening came up at a perfect time.
Okay.
So yeah.
And so what were you doing right before you came here?
After the Children's Museum, I worked for, should I say this?
You can say
I can say this. Purdue University.
I was like, oh, this is real hush hush. Now I get it. Yeah.
I got to say, I love Purdue. I really have. It was a great place to work. A little alarming for my family that I worked for Purdue because they all went to Purdue. So I have 2 parents who were in engineering in Purdue and 2 brothers engineering in Purdue. And they assumed I go to Purdue. And that was the last thing I wanted to do as a kid. I was 18. I wasn't going to do the same as them.
Right.
So they got a big laugh that later in life, not only do I work for Purdue. I get another degree from Purdue, and they just thought it was exceedingly funny.
Oh yeah. So every Thanksgiving and Christmas, you're catching strays, and they're like, "We told you."
Yes, and they're buying all the Purdue gear they can find and sending it my way. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But it was a great place to work. I love it. I worked in community development, so I work with a lot of area nonprofits for grant writing, for board development, things like that.
Fantastic.
So it was a good place to learn.
Yeah. And then where'd you grow up? Where are you originally from?
Just north of Fort Wayne, there's a little community called Grable, Indiana.
Okay.
A great little community, a little bedroom community for Fort Wayne.
There you go.
Kind of small, only one red flashing light in town.
Just one?
Just one. Yep.
You
People
told me
ignore it.
you told me that your hometown has like buggy lanes.
It
And
does,
that's-
yeah.
Mine does too.
Oh.
Yeah, the little town I'm from in northern Indiana, so it's like an Amish adjacent community.
Okay. So yeah, a lot. Did you guys hit it off over that? Once you start like, you had buggy lanes too? No way.
There's quite a few in Indiana for sure. But
Yep.
yeah,
We had some Amish kids at WonderLab just a couple days ago.
nice.
And it was kind of like bringing a tear to your eye because, I miss this. And it's like home. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, we've had a gentleman come by our Brown County location and our Bloomington store with this milk and he's Amish that they've been making, and it's unpasteurized and it's just so delicious. But I don't know if it's at a price point that we can make sense. But I was like, oh, more samples. Like, yeah, for sure, we will take these. I want to try this
Oh,
out.
very cool.
That would be delicious ice cream for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've always talked about like, man, it'd be great to partner with a local dairy farmer or something. But man, you just look at what the cost would be of that final scoop of ice cream, or that final cone. And it's already tough enough as it is. So we'll see. We'll keep working, pounding the pavement, seeing if we can figure out a way to make it work.
I've never had an inside track with an ice cream person.
It's dangerous.
Favorite flavor?
So we have a coffee ice cream. That's my favorite. It's really good. We get the beans, we grind them ourselves. We make this concentrate. It's got some caffeine in it. But a lot of people like the Moose Dream, which is chocolate with Reese cup.
Yes, that's
yeah.
me.
Yeah. And then we're kind of known for the Grasshopper, which is our mint Oreo.
Also good.
Great. Okay.
So growing up, my siblings loved mint chocolate chip. I hated it. And then so when I first started the chocolate mousse, I tried the Grasshopper and I was like, this is so different than any mint chocolate chip I had growing up, because it was always like a sharp mint taste. But the cream in the Oreo mellows out the mint.
Good,
So it actually
okay.
is a much more like, I don't know, I think it's more well balanced. So I enjoy it.
You have a lemon as well.
We just got rid of it. I know.
No.
It was one of those that you either love it or you hate it.
Oh.
It was this bright, it was like
yeah,
the color of those
these
glasses.
All right.
It was
Bright neon yellow.
felt it right here. When you
Yeah,
ate it.
and
It
some
was-
people would like, it was their favorite, but other people were like, this tastes like Pledge. So yeah, I'm just telling you, got both.
Ow.
both
Big
ways.
humanity. No, I love
know.
the lemon.
We'll, I'm sure we'll bring it back for limited time, but we were looking at the sales numbers. It didn't
It's
justify
like
it.
Pledge.
so.
How do you know what Pledge tastes like? Who's out there eating Pledge? Seriously, come on. Spray it. in
Yeah,
your
I've got some commentary on that, but I'll keep it to myself. I know quite a few people that like wouldn't surprise me if they were.
Okay, that's a different podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not what we're here to cover. So you mentioned your wife and your wife and yourself had wanted to move to Bloomington for decades. What
Yes.
was it? What was the draw about it? Other than I know you came down and visited Blooming Foods, but what was the appeal of Bloomington?
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Portland. It's
Yeah.
got that great combination of artsy and academic. It's got science thrown in there. It's just a great thing for cultural tourism here. It was exciting, and just seeing what was going on and how many people from different countries were here and how that's reflected in festivals and in food stops. We were just excited because we both grew up in little teeny towns where everybody seemed very much like us. So coming here and there's just this diversity of people was just wonderful.
Yeah, and because of the university, we get these major acts, comedians, bands that come through and stop in Bloomington, which I feel like isn't super common for cities of our size. So another aspect that I've loved, of living here.
I've heard something about a Lotus festival.
Oh yeah, we can talk Lotus for sure.
Okay.
Lotus Festival is
Yeah.
fantastic. So it's going on 30 plus years now, I believe. So we help organize the food trucks for it. And it's a World Music and Arts Festival. Katarina Koch is the the executive director, and we actually just did an event for them at Fairview Elementary this past Saturday, the Lotus Bazaar. And it's a really cool thing. It's a little scaled down from its peak, but it's still really cool. They shut down a couple streets. They got these outdoor stages. There's all these different venues that you can pop in and see these artists from all over the world, all in one place. So a lot of people travel in from all over to Bloomington for the Lotus Fest, but it's typically the last weekend of September or first weekend in October.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can I'll get an email going with you and Katarina.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Make the connection, and you guys can see about the WonderLab Lotus collab.
Oh, interesting. That's fun.
And I got to say, I have a list of things in Bloomington to explore. Lotus was number 1, and there's a food truck, Doner
Kebab.
Yes.
We all know it.
Yeah.
Oh, do y'all?
So that is our most watched episode of the podcast is Hamid from Doner
wow.
Kebab.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Such a cool guy. Incredible story. I won't ruin it for you. But go listen to the podcast. You can find out all about Hamid.
Okay.
But yeah, so Chocolate Mousse, we started this weekly food truck event called Food Truck Friday 11 years ago. So are very well integrated with all the food trucks. We booked them for Lotus, we booked them for this or that, and we run the weekly Food Truck Friday event. So I've known Hamid forever. So this is him. Garrett just pulled it up.
Wow. Okay.
But something that you can go, if you get some downtime, watch.
I will definitely do that.
But he's such a character. He takes so much pride in the product that he serves.
It's delicious.
And yeah, you don't want to eat it. It just looks pretty.
I want to eat it. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying it looks so pretty.
It's so good.
And he put so much effort into the presentation because he'll hand it to you like, I don't have any kids, but I'd imagine a nurse hands you your newborn.
That's true.
Yeah, he goes
like
that.
Wow. Well, when I was looking up all things Bloomington before coming here, there was a whole Reddit discussion list on this gentleman and his food truck, and every single one was positive.
Better business, better community. For over a century, the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce has been a cornerstone of business growth and community development. They are dedicated to helping local businesses thrive. Their business is all about your business. Join the Chamber today. Call 812-336-6381 or visit chamberbloomington.org to learn more. All right, we're back. We're talking dinosaurs. Dallas, you were saying you made these? Is that right?
I made those, yep.
Walk me through that process and what we're looking at. I'm looking at this and I don't even know where I'd begin. Is it paper mache or what?
It's epoxy putty, both of them, and resin. The original one was given to me by a paleontologist from China. He's an incredible guy. Dong Ziming's his name. He has dug and named more dinosaurs than anybody else living.
Wow.
And he's an incredible guy. And he brought an example to me. And it was gorgeous. It was one he dug. It was a cast of the original one that was on display in Beijing. But the cast he gave me was made out of probably some sort of Bondo. So it would sit in my office and my whole office would smell of plasticky smell. And I couldn't get rid of it. So what I did was I made a mold of it and a cast. That's where this one comes from. And then the original one, which I loved dearly because it was from Dong, I covered in resin to make a life model, I guess, of one. So I made the skeletal and then I used his to make the fleshed out one. So that way I could keep his, and even though it's kind of stinky, it's encased in all this.
Wait, you carved it? Is that what you're saying? Like when you made the model?
I did
carved it?
A mold and cast of the original one. So I just molded it and poured it and painted it. And then I put the original one in there.
So they're...
Added glass eyes and a lot of putty and just sculpted one.
So what dinosaur is this?
It's a small little dinosaur called a psittacosaur. They're found in China, in Mongolia. They're called parrot beak dinosaurs because they definitely had a little beak.
Yeah.
And people just keep finding out more and more about these dinosaurs. They find some that have little quills on the end, so we know they had feathers. They find them nesting, so we have great nests of psittacosaur mom and all these little babies with them. So they're amazing little dinosaurs, but little too. That's an adult size.
Wow.
Wait, does it have a body?
Oh, yeah, they definitely have
okay.
bodies.
Just the head, right? Yeah. I was like, what?
It vibrated around.
You'll see the holes on the bottom. They were bookends, basically, on a little stand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it was such a great gift and such an amazing guy that I wanted to keep it, but yeah, it just was smelling up my office so badly.
Yeah.
So I made copies and encased the real one.
I'm so glad you brought those. And you guys brought these glasses. They also brought me a t-shirt. Super
Yeah,
nice.
WonderLab.
I know. Yeah, it's so
Hooray.
great. Well, it's fun to just have interactive stuff up here, but it's a WonderLab episode. It would feel weird if we didn't.
I
Absolutely.
almost brought a science experiment, but I thought it could get too messy.
Ooh, yeah.
Bubbles in water. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, start looking around.
Things.
Maybe you might be like, hey, if we put that with this and did this. Yeah.
It could be a mess.
Yeah, that we should have done. We've talked about doing more like on-site stuff with restaurants.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try to get into WonderLab and I can make a fool of myself doing some different things.
We can bring our educators, our outreach team. They have just a huge, like in their back pocket, this kind of stuff that they can just pull out and do.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's quite
absolutely.
fun. Yeah.
Garrett, can we just throw down like a big tarp and we'll just and just see how messy we can get?
I mean, do it.
Yeah. It's like I've always wanted to learn how to build fireworks. Can we do that?
She looks at the very flammable interior.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the most destructive.
What is this
hobby.
made of? Wood?
So what's been, I guess, your favorite part of working at WonderLab for all these years now?
My favorite part of working at WonderLab. It's the stuff that's unexpected for me. And it's usually behind the scenes, actually. For example, I was walking through the admin offices one day and one of the education staff at the time had rewired his entire computer into a series of bananas, and was like typing out messages on the bananas.
What?
That sounds very unique.
And I was like,
that.
what you doing? And he's like, I did a thing, right? And that was ultimately going to be translated into some kind of educational program, right? And that was bizarre. And like I had a similar story once when I walked into one of the lab rooms and there was somebody again from the education staff. Believe me, these people know what they're doing and they have just the funniest ideas. But he had, this education person had taken a tube and he was running some kind of flammable gas through it, and it had all these little holes drilled, and all the fire came up through the holes. But he had synchronized it to music.
Oh wow!
And I think it was I want to say it was the Tetris theme, right? And so all down the pole, the fire was like following the theme, and he had just sort of built this as a way to explain. I'm not even sure what the scientific principle he was explaining, but we were all like, this is just happening.
Yeah, but this is cool.
This is cool, right? I like that kind of thing. And that kind of thing is going on all the time, kind of in the back, because that's where the creativity comes to create the exhibits and the programs.
Well, it's almost like you're like living in like a Mythbusters lab in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are just
like,
doing stuff.
And you're just getting paid to be there.
Exactly.
No, I'm sure you're doing hard work, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I worked at a laser tag place through high school. And after we closed, a lot of the staff would come back and we would like play laser tag and we'd be like in the lobby, like laying down on skee ball and you
Nice.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like after hour staff events at WonderLab where you guys just get to go play, or do you get that time in elsewhere?
We don't have after hours staff events. We have after hours events, excuse me, for adults where adults come and play, but they're staffed by staff. I don't know if we I can't think of a time when we just have shut the museum down and let staff play.
Or we're just not saying it in front of Dallas.
No, I actually think it's,
shut up. We do that every Wednesday.
I actually think it's a good idea
It is
because
staff and families.
because like I talked about these things that I would come upon, right? But at the same time, everybody takes their work incredibly seriously. And sometimes I will find a staff person who's like, no, I actually haven't ever done the climber. I'm too busy doing all my other stuff, right? And it's important that we do. So that's a great idea.
I've got this little list down here. I'm like,
It's amazing.
WonderLab ideas that I'm sneaking in.
For sure.
We have several episodes of these where I have guests where it just turns into me being like, you guys should do this.
Nice.
That works for us. Yeah.
Bring it on. Yeah.
Yep.
So how long has WonderLab even existed, and who were the people that like were like, hey, this needs to be a thing?
I'm going to let you mostly
You're gonna
do
let
that.
me?
I've worked with
Not to put you on the spot.
well,
I mean, it's a little bit on the spot. So WonderLab,
I can do part of this.
do part of it.
I've had the great opportunity to meet some of the founders within the last month.
Wow. Okay.
And these are very dedicated people who wanted to bring science here. Oh, yes.
Yep.
And It's amazing the efforts they put into this and the hours that they put into this.
Right.
And how many of them, almost all of them are retired now, but they still give so much time and even donations and money and things to keep WonderLab going and have a lot of input in what we do. And it's just tremendous. It really is.
It is. And it started as an idea, right? It was someone, and I don't want to give dates because I'm notoriously bad at giving
totally
the
fine.
wrong dates. But one of the founders, I heard her say that she didn't love her high school science experience, right? And she became quite a renowned physicist in her own right. But one of the things that interested her was creating better experiential learning. And so it started, I want to say, with some of the founders in their offices, maybe at IU, they were various science faculty who started doing small experiments that led to doing some outreach, like throwing those experiments in the trunk of the car, going around. That led to renting a spot. That led to an interim museum on the square, which turned out to be very popular. It took tons of time and volunteers. And then the city, and the city gave us the land. Is that right?
The land.
And then we purchased the building and had the building built, and then the museum came to be.
Yeah.
But it wasn't someone just said, look, we're going to start a museum. It was starting in this kind of smaller but very effective way with like outreach.
Yeah, and then just organically kind of grew.
Yeah, exactly.
Very grassroots, yeah.
And that makes it sound like it wasn't so much blood, sweat, and tears. I think all of these founders lived and breathed this museum for a very long time until it came into existence.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, so Garrett pulled up the website. It was 1998.
Thank you.
When it opened in the Wicks building
Yep.
on the north side of the square. And then 2003 is when the current facility with the garden opened.
Yep.
Since then, more than 1 million visitors. That's crazy.
Yeah. And my daughter was 3. My daughter was born in 2000 and we lived here. She was one of the first visitors at the new building. And we went to the Wicks building as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, which one's the Wicks? Is that where there's like a nail salon now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's on the north side of the square.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
By
Just to like
Samira.
the right or the east of the Allery.
East of the Allery, west of Samira.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay. That's so cool. Yeah. I just recently joined the board for New Hope for Families.
Oh, nice.
And it sounds very similar to kind of how it started 14 years ago or so. Sorry, Emily, if I got that wrong. I think it was 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just some folks that saw a need, and next thing you know, it just was this little thing, and then it just grew and grew and grew because so many people believed in the vision.
Yeah.
And so many founders put so much work into making it happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
It's stunning, actually, how much work something like that takes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and just like how I felt when I started the Chocolate Mousse, you know, we had been on the same plot of land since 1933. And, you
Really?
know,
Wow.
I had the Chocolate Mousse name since 83. And when I started there in 2014, I was like, man, this is a lot of pressure to uphold this and continue this tradition. So I'm sure you kind of feel some of the same way with WonderLab of, hey, this means so much to so many people. And I'm kind of been entrusted to keep it going.
Definitely means a lot to me. When I was considering the job, I talked to a lot of people in the community. I talked to a lot of my daughter's friends who went to IU. And even if those IU students weren't science students, they were heavily in the art or whatever, they all had been to the WonderLab. They all said great things and thought it was a fantastic place. And each one would tell me memories of, oh, I went there and did this. And sometimes with families, sometimes just by themselves because I wanted to. And I loved hearing that, just how it was received. So that's a major reason why I'm here. It's just, it's so loved in the community.
Yeah. You see the impact and know that you can help have an impact.
Yep.
Yeah. You're making me think we have a huge photo archive of just from the years. And I was scrolling through it and I found pictures of my daughter when she was 3.
Wow.
Like someone had taken, and she just shows up in kind of some crowd shots. And we have things like that where the story that comes to mind is there was a young kid who had an internship in high school for us. And he was not a science kid, but he was a film kid. And he had an internship in marketing and development. And he did a video for us. But when he was putting that video together, we found photos of him as a little kid, like at the museum, right? And we were able to, and it's so funny to think about that keeps happening all the time. We have a staff person who is our assistant director of museum experience. And she grew up in WonderLab. And there are so many pictures of her as a baby and as a toddler, just like running around in parades and things. So
That's so cool.
it's really great.
Yeah. Well, I always feel, again, every guest I have on, there's always these parallels between what I do and what they do in different ways. But that's how I was like, I'm always getting people the best part of their day when they're coming to get ice cream. You guys, I feel like it's the same way. You're getting people probably the best part of their day.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're getting to come to the WonderLab and do cool shit.
It's not like going to the tax auditor. Yeah, it's like you come to the museum. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're like the staff there is in a good mood because they're getting paid to educate and like the stuff they're passionate about and share that with the next generation and get to be hands on while they're doing it. So you're just like, you're making people's day. And it's like, I feel like we're very lucky to be in lines of work where that's what we get to do instead of.
Absolutely. Yes.
There's a lot of unheralded positions that don't get enough appreciation, and what they do is very tough. And not that what we do isn't hard, but we get to see that immediate gratification is like the smiles.
It's true. And with WonderLab, but it's so deeply serious with the importance of like science and learning, and it is fun, but it's also important to remember that their kids all learn and people learn in different ways. And at WonderLab, you can do that. Yeah. Right? It's not just your classroom setting or your book test. You can find a spot there regardless of who you are.
Is that quote, is it David Foster Wallace that had the, like, you can, if you try to teach a fish to climb a tree.
Oh, yes.
You know,
I know what you're talking about. I couldn't rattle it off to you, but yes.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's a great example. Everyone learns in a different way.
Yes.
And that's so great that you guys get to help facilitate that. There we go.
Thank you, Garrett.
Thanks, Garrett. You're going to make me sound not, I was like, I've got 10% of this quote. There are two young fish swimming along, and they happen to be an older fish swimming the other way, who nods at them and says, "Morning, boys. How's the water?" And the two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over at the other and goes, "What the hell is water?" Yeah, is that it? That's
Maybe not the quote you're looking for. Interesting. So
it's a good quote.
I was like, okay, this hopefully is getting where I remember it. And then the further guy was like, I don't think it's gonna get back.
I know it kind of works though. It kind of works.
Yeah, that's not it either. All right, it's fine. I butchered it. Everyone, no, I don't claim to be very well educated. I'm a food guy, so that's fine. I don't think I'm letting down too many people.
But your point is, the point is like you don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
Right. And also, I think you're also talking about you can't like teach a fish to climb a tree.
Yeah, that's
right?
yeah,
like,
that's the gist of the quote. And I thought it was David Foster Wallace, but apparently here you go. Yeah, there it is. Everybody is ingenious, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid.
Right. That's what that's what I thought you were talking about.
Popular, though often misattributed, myself guilty, frequently attributed to Einstein. No evidence he ever actually said it. I think what I saw was actually David Foster Wallace using that in like in a speech.
Interesting.
The No Dishes podcast is brought to you by VisitBloomington.com. Visit Bloomington.com is the best resource for restaurant and culinary information, special events, fun activities, places to stay, and more in our area. We share a similar mission here on the No Dishes podcast of highlighting local businesses and the people who make our community unique. We can't thank them enough for hopping on board. Check them out at visitbloomington.com to easily plan your next meal, visit, or night out on the town. That's what I'm gonna claim. So so how's the majority of funding work for WonderLab? Is it through admissions from attendees, or I'm assuming there's quite a bit of grants and other funding that comes into play?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we get funding from certainly admissions, from gift shop sales. We get money through grants, of course, and we get a lot of donations too, just personal donations that help keep us up and running. So the community's been very, very good to WonderLab.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, if someone is interested, I'm assuming you just go to the WonderLab website and it's very easy to figure out how to make a donation.
It is. There's a donate button right at the top of every single page. We also have a drop-down give area, and there's all kinds of opportunities for giving individual gifts, unrestricted gifts, legacy gifts, non-cash gifts.
Can you tell who manages our website?
You name it.
She's like, boom, I got it right here.
Here. And all of those gifts go directly to support, they transform lives. They support science from, like, you could donate to, say, feed the animals. You could say, I want to make a restricted gift that's going to go to snake food for a year.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Or you could do an unrestricted gift where WonderLab can decide where it's most needed. And then in that case, it could go to exhibits, or it could go to staff, or the building repair, that kind of thing.
That's really nice that you can designate that.
You can.
So I can go on there and be like, here's $100 water exhibit.
You could.
Absolutely.
You absolutely could do that.
Or
If
cockroaches.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Or you could be $1 million new water exhibit.
Oh, okay. I
like
think
the way you think.
vastly
Right?
overestimate my income.
Just putting it out there, manifesting.
Yeah, we're not selling that many cones.
If there was only lemon ice cream,
I know.
could do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like, I think I know why you're not making $1 million, Jordan.
My daughter, who is away at college, will be very sad to hear you don't have the lemon anymore.
So I've got a stash.
Back to that.
Okay.
Not for me, but there's some at the warehouse that I will get into the right hands.
Which when she's back, I'll
And
give you a
now our
call.
DMs are going to get lit up when this comes out. Like, hey, I need something ice cream. Like, don't show favoritism. I know you mentioned interns. Do you do much other collaboration with the university?
Actually, we do a lot with the university. We depend on them a lot. They've helped us out on so many exhibits. They've been subject matter specialists. Sometimes some of the professors go ahead and get grants like NSF grants, National Science Foundation.
Yeah.
And part of that grant is they have to do a portion for outreach. They give us a call. So they've got it all paid for and bottled up. And they're like, okay, this percentage of my grant can go to the WonderLab to help teach what we do.
Yeah, that exhibit right there is an example.
Yes.
That's a Hovercraft exhibit, which was done in collaboration with the IU physics department and an
Super cool.
NSF grant. Yeah. And
Okay.
it was so fun working with those guys. I mean, they're these great physicists. They're doing all this stuff. And they were always so happy when we came there and they said, we get to take a break from our normal physics and go build this thing in the back of this physics exhibit. It was really cool.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
That's such a big part of Bloomington is having the university and those resources and opportunities for collaboration like that.
And it's fun.
Not to get too off topic or go down a rabbit hole that this podcast isn't about, but recently, have there been any funding cuts that have affected you that you might be more reliant on local donations? Or have you guys kind of been good with what your kind of business as usual?
We're going through this pretty well. We do worry about all our, university colleagues and how we work with them and what they have time for these days and the stress they're under.
Okay.
But quite honestly, WonderLab is weathering this very well.
Okay. That's fantastic. Okay. I'm allowed one hard hitting question.
No, I mean,
That's our quota. So
it's a good and it's a fair question
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, we're about half and half for our funding is half donation and grant based and half admission and events.
Okay.
It's about how it rolls. It's a little
Yeah.
fuzzy, and we support the science community and
Absolutely.
anything that they're weathering, we support them. We stand with them. Science is so important. It needs to be funded. We need it as a community, as a nation. It's really, really big.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, though, I always love my 6th grade science class and just experiments. It's just like you have all these other classes and they can be boring at times. You're just sitting at a desk and, obviously there's certain subjects that appeal to you. So you're really looking forward to history. But for the most part, all of them are sitting learning. Science, I feel like, was the only one that you really got to get interactive and maybe go outside and do something out there or do some type of, little bottle rocket or,
Well, and that kind of thinking is used every day, not even just in science. The ability to discern and make a decision and say, if I do this and X happens, then I'm going to go here and do this. And you put it into practice constantly when you pick your toothpaste, when you clean your kitchen, when you get in your car. It's just constantly that way of thinking. And it's really, really important and crucial.
Everybody has curiosity. Everybody does science.
Yeah, all the time.
That's our intro, Garrett. We always clip out 10 or 15 seconds for the start of the episode.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
I usually don't call it out in the middle of the episode. But I was like, that was so good. I was like, I'm fired up about science.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear.
Well, yeah, that's supposed to be the hook at the beginning of the episode.
Right?
Like, oh
We
yeah.
are fired up about it. That's why we have these glasses.
Glasses.
All right. Well, is there anything about WonderLab before we move on to food that we haven't touched on that you think people should know?
That's a good question. It's
That's
so
a really
well known.
good.
Yeah.
It's a really good question. I think it's not a children's museum. That's an important distinction. Adults, when they come in, should expect to play. That said, we understand that sometimes adults need to let their kids do a thing, and WonderLab is small enough and safe enough that you can let your kid do that, and you can take a breath as a parent or a caregiver. But it's more fun if you do the stuff too. Everything is sized, except for Science Sprouts, which is for babies. Adults can do literally everything in the museum.
And if there's one thing I'd say, it would be the first-time family memberships.
Oh, first-time parent memberships.
First-time
yes.
parent. Thank
There
you.
go.
It
Yeah. What do you want to say about that?
is such a great opportunity. This is a wonderful museum thing. First-time parents get in for free. They get a membership for 2 adults and the newborn from birth till 18 months.
18 months. Yeah.
Yep.
And it costs nothing.
Costs
It costs
nothing.
nothing.
You just have to come in and
Wow.
be like, and it's any kind of parental. You can be an adopted parent. You can be a foster parent. You can be a
Nice.
biological parent.
That's so great.
Right. That's just what you do. You
Yes,
come in
okay.
come visit on us.
I'm
do it.
so glad that you guys brought that up because that's such a cool opportunity that I had no idea about. I'm sure there's so many people that had no clue.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah. We want you to come.
I love that it does so much for the community and it gets them in. And it's also kind of a relief because you're a new parent. You need some avenue to take your child to and go explore and go relax and even give them the space to go explore. So
Yeah.
that young science sprouts area.
Yeah. And we
is
have
perfect
groups
for that.
We have families that are not, I guess they're not families, but groups, friend groups. I'm not sure they're informal, but they meet up at WonderLab with their babies
Oh, nice.
and like hang out and do a thing.
I feel like I've never thought about this before, but I feel like it'd be a really cool first date spot.
Oh,
If someone's like, "Oh, I'm taking someone on a first date. Like, I don't want to do just dinner and a movies. I want something where we can get to know each other, but it's not boring." I feel like that's an incredible first date spot.
That would be a power move, actually.
I think it would be too.
I think so.
Yeah. Good idea.
Down.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan and the ideas. I hope someone is writing these all down.
Nice, no stress place to meet. Yeah.
I can't wait to see the boosted Facebook ads of like a young couple at WonderLab.
Exactly.
Like looking for a first date idea.
I mean, we do have adult events that are in the evening. Like we have a prom coming up.
Oh, nice.
Like an after hours prom. It's based on bugs, the bug ball.
I think yes.
Yeah. And that's if you don't want to come, if you want to come in the evening, not in the daytime.
Right.
So that's the thing. And sometimes adults get nervous being around that many kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never. No.
It's like how many times are my shins gonna get kicked?
Right. Well, and often like adults will act more adult around kids, but they let loose more around other adults.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. They're like, because I feel like when I've gone with I feel like I need to be almost in babysitter mode of just like,
yeah.
hey, we're watching out for the kids. That's our main role.
For sure.
Not to play and, oh no, one of the kids just ran. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I could see that where you don't feel like you have any other added responsibility when it is an adult night.
Yep.
And you can just kind of let loose, enjoy the exhibits.
Exactly. You don't have to worry that you're making a bad example for somebody.
You're right. Yeah. You're not worried about watching after somebody.
Or you're not worried that kid understands the physics exhibit more than you, and you're like, what?
That's how I feel about one of my nieces and one of my nephews. I was like, they're smarter than I am. Like they're
happens.
absolutely hands down. One of them is very much into robotics and STEM. And I talked to them. I was like, they're like 9, 11. I was like, they're more mature than I am. They're smarter than I am.
No way. Are they more fun?
Well, that's all I got. That's what I They don't have a podcast.
You don't have a podcast. You should get them on here and interview them.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
Maybe.
Yeah, they did just move to Valparaiso from Kansas City. So
Oh.
we'll be a little closer.
This is your sister you were telling me about.
Yes, that's right. I forgot we had talked about her. So yeah, I ended up going up there. So it'll be a little easier. But they have I'm pretty sure all of my nieces and nephews have been to WonderLab.
Oh, that's
Even
sweet.
though they're in
Yeah.
Colorado, Indiana, formerly Missouri.
well, you should definitely get them a membership for sure.
Yeah, well, we always try to just give enough ice cream that was like once a year. Like, can I bring in some people?
But you know, I'm going to plug a membership. My membership perk here is that WonderLab is part of an association called the Association of Science and Technology Centers worldwide. Right. So if you have a WonderLab membership, your membership gets you into any ASTC center
Oh, nice.
that is 90 miles away from WonderLab.
Oh.
Right. So you could have a WonderLab membership and go to Germany. And if there is a science center that is an ASTC center, which there are, you get in for free if that's the benefit, or maybe the discount, whatever they provide. But yeah, it's an awesome benefit. There's more than 600 of them worldwide.
Wow. Okay.
Right. And that's a great perk if you're a WonderLab member.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing. It really
It's
is.
a
yeah.
really big deal. I mean, it works in Chicago, for example, because it's
Right. Yeah.
just up
pa-
there.
Huh.
Yeah. It doesn't work in Indy. Too close.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't work in Terre Haute. Too close.
Makes sense.
But it does work anywhere in Indy.
All right. Well, whenever I have kids, I'm coming in for my free 18 months. I'm doing that afterwards.
Do your thing.
It's
Yeah.
all. I got my 10-year plan.
Nice. Awesome. Nice. That's what I like to
And
hear.
I have to say, there's some adults like me who love things like WonderLab just to see the activity and the kids, and sometimes the chaos and the noise that just makes me feel comforted, I gotta say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That noise and that comfort?
Yeah, especially if you're in an office that's quiet and you're typing away.
Right.
You need something like that. You really do.
That's why I like restaurants. It's controlled chaos. And
Absolutely,
I feel
yeah.
like WonderLab's kind of that.
WonderLab is that. It is loud at WonderLab for sure.
Yeah. It's like you would do great in a restaurant. It's just like it's loud and a lot of things going on.
All right, speaking of restaurants,
Okay.
sushi, where would you recommend?
Oh, okay. So yeah, perfect. All right. I have one last WonderLab question before we
Yeah.
pivot to food. Do you guys know roughly your annual attendance? How many people are coming through the door there?
It's been a little different since the pandemic.
Right.
But we were at around 85 to 90,000 a year.
Wow. Okay.
And it's still growing. We're trying to get back to
That's
that.
incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, in a city of 80,000, that's half IU students.
Yeah.
That's such a great number. The Bloomington Town Planner is a community calendar owned and published by local residents John and Sharon Martin. Mailed out to Bloomington homes in December of each year, it features school schedules and community events. And don't forget the coupons at the bottom of the calendar. They'll save you money and help you decide on the next restaurant or retailer to check out here in the Bloomington area. Town Planner also has an online calendar which will be found at townplanner.com. Make sure to sign up for their weekly e-newsletter so you can stay on top of all the fun events going on around town.
We get so many field trips and we get a lot of like weekend travelers. We have a market from Chicago that come over in Valparaiso and stuff
That's
like that.
great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
That
pretty
was
good.
the only one I had loaded in the hopper. So.
Yep.
All right.
All right, we're talking sushi.
Yes.
A lot of great options. I think the two spots that first come to mind, Sushi Bar at 10th and the Bypass.
Okay.
It's been there forever, very understated, very easy to miss.
And they have karaoke.
It's on its own little island. It's nothing next to it. It's just on 10th and the Bypass. It's in the southwest corner. It's actually a place that I had not gone for until there we go, Sushi Bar Bloomington. But yeah, so like across from it, you've got this big strip mall with Hive and Jersey Mike's and Mama's Korean barbecue, but then it's just on its own little island. Just boom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay. That's cute.
just sitting there. Nothing else with it, just sushi bar. And then Restaurant Ami on 3rd Street by
Ami's
Jacob
good.
School on campus is really fantastic.
That's good to know.
But there's other great sushi too. But those are the first two that come to mind. Have you and your wife had a chance to dine out much in your first few weeks back, or not back, but living here?
Actually, I haven't moved here yet, except
okay.
for a temporary apartment. So
Wow.
I'm looking for houses. My wife's still up north, and we'll get her down here, and maybe the kids too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, you should. I love looking for houses. So send me your parameters.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I just like
interesting.
Bless you. That would help so much.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me.
Let's talk
I
real
bought my
estate.
first house a little over a year ago, but I still am addicted to just going on Zillow and just like looking at houses.
You're a looky Lou.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
just
we
fun.
call you.
It's just
Yeah.
fun to look like. I'll be like, ooh, this might be the next step, and just kind of knowing the market and what this X amount gets you.
Do you pop into random open houses?
No, I don't. No.
I do that all the time. Like there's an
Really?
open house. If there, I pull over and go in.
Wow. Okay.
Even
I
if
need
I'm
to
not
start
looking,
doing that.
I love it.
That sounds great because Sundays I try to have that be like the one day I don't have anything like scheduled other than maybe like playing basketball.
Yeah, I have a friend I call whenever we're like, "Looky Lou, meet you there." Like we'll see one and we drive and look at it.
Yeah, but it's got to be at least like 500,000. Like there's got
I
to be
don't care.
snacks.
I don't care. Actually,
just wanna look.
I just want to look. I don't care
love
what
that.
the price is.
Okay,
I just want to
was
see it.
I didn't know if there was a correlation between the cost of the house and the quality of the refreshments.
I don't go for the refreshments.
Yeah, but you're going to look at the
I
house.
want to see the inside of the
Yeah,
house.
okay.
Yeah.
For decorating ideas or for
All
fun?
of,
Or
I mean,
just-
all of it. I love a house.
Different
I
layouts,
love
different-
layouts.
Yeah.
I like to see what people do.
Like,
I'm,
oh, that's a quirky window. Or
yeah. I'm always ready to move to my next house.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Maybe. Although I've been where I have been since 2008. So,
I haven't gotten to the housing stage yet. I'm still at, okay, what are the great restaurants and places to stop?
Right.
I have a half-hour walk into work, so I walk around with a camera and click pictures and send them back to my wife. And how about this? This will be our first dinner. Or how about
Nice.
this place? Yeah, we
That's
need to
fantastic.
try this coffee shop. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned Blooming Foods when you guys had visited before.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're coming here working. You got the apartment. Haven't had a chance to dine out much yet.
Right.
Okay. So I'll answer any questions that you have as far as if you want to know coffee shops, if you want to know Italian, if you want to know burgers. And then Aleisha, you've been here long enough.
yeah.
we'll talk about your favorites.
Okay.
And you can chime in, and maybe we'll just, you know what, Dallas, you're running it. We're here to answer your questions. We're flipping the script.
We eat out too much in my family, probably.
It's fun. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Which restaurant has the best atmosphere, just most unique? We've been to Samira. That's the one I've taken my wife.
Samira's fantastic.
Yeah. And she loved it. She absolutely loved it.
Are you looking for like an adult experience? Or are you looking for just more quirky, unique?
A little bit of each.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for the most like adult atmosphere, the Elm, really high end, fine dining, but they hired like a New York design firm. And it's beautiful here. You can see
it's quiet. It's kind of quiet.
Oh, wow.
It feels
nice.
private, even though it's
very seasonal
busy.
menus. The staff is incredibly knowledgeable. They have a great cocktail program.
Oh, the wait staff is really knowledgeable. They can give you an absolute blow by blow for everything on their menu.
C3 is another one that's a great dim lighting. Feels very adult. Feels romantic, or just grown up.
Okay.
Grown up.
Yeah. And then, of course, Uptown. You got Uptown has a
Uptown
very
is really nice. Yeah.
Ambiance and feel to it. So yeah,
I like Malibu for the same reason.
Yeah, Malibu is dark in a good way.
Kind of quiet. It has a nice feel.
And Osteria Rago. Incredible little spot that's back in an alley. But I think it's the best Italian in town.
It's so good.
Very, very good.
We just ate there on Friday last week on a whim because we love it so much. Yeah,
great,
so delicious.
Great charcuterie board.
The eggplant,
rollatini.
Rollatini. The eggplant rollatini. I feel like I don't order anything but the eggplant.
I love their chicken marsala. So here's good. There's a
that's
little bit
an
of
old Blooming Foods. Speaking of Blooming Foods, that's the original. It's the OG Blooming Foods that was on Kirkwood. Is that spot?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great wine list here.
Go.
Yeah, it's the original Blooming Foods before they opened the East Side store. The East Side store was bigger. Okay. And then this one was a Blooming Foods, I can't remember what year, for a while.
Yeah.
And then it changed
we delivered
hands.
ice cream there. And
yeah. And then it changed into, I think, isn't this owned by Nick's?
Yeah.
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 And it's a lovely little spot. Fantastic Italian food.
This is great. I love it. I'll
good wine as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about the best?
There's the eggplant rollatini. Delicious. Oh my God.
Shut up. There's the eggplant.
So good. So good.
It is.
And they make all their own pasta, and it's
all the pasta's made fresh in house. Really good desserts. They make their own gelato.
Perfect. Okay.
Lovely stuff.
I was going to ask about the best decadent chocolate experience.
Oh,
well, I'm biased. So Chocolate Mousse has some great chocolate ice creams. We have a chocolate explosion sundae. That's brownie and Oreos on our homemade chocolate ice cream with hot fudge, whipped cream, chocolate sprinkles. Really good.
Okay.
Other chocolate. I mean, there's just
I'm not much of a dessert
person. A lot
person,
of the places do like rotating desserts, but yeah, anytime a place does a chocolate cake. Again, Malibu does great desserts. Two Sticks Bakery is a really incredible bakery. They do this thing called a Moreo. And they take black cocoa and just like butter, and it's just like a homemade Oreo, but it's about yay big around, and just this homemade cream filling, and just the texture of it. It's like crunchy exterior, but just a moist, soft like interior on the cookie.
Yeah.
And then just a nice homemade like cream filling. They do some really good. You can do a slice of their slab cake. So sometimes they'll have like a chocolate cake that you can just go in and that's the best part about being an adult. You can get a piece of cake anytime. It doesn't have to be a birthday.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a special occasion. You can just go buy yourself a piece of cake.
True. And what's the name of the little bakery that's in Fountain Square? It's at the bottom. It's the gluten-free bakery.
Yeah, Brightside Cafe.
Brightside Cafe.
I have
if
been
you
there.
need
It's wonderful.
gluten-free
Yeah.
stuff, they have a great selection.
The entire kitchen, everything is gluten-free. So there's no chance of cross-contamination, nothing. Yeah, so if you're celiac or just very strictly gluten-free.
Or if you don't care and you just like what they make, which is me. I can eat gluten and I like their stuff. So.
All right.
Yeah, I feel a little less guilty because I feel like when my mom had some tests done when I was like 18, I had like a minor gluten intolerance. So I feel like I'm treating myself well.
That's good.
There you go.
Which is a rare thing.
All right. Can I do a last question that's a little bit different?
Yeah. Hey, you're running the show now.
That's scary.
I still have to give you my number one restaurant pick in town.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
International markets. Are there any in town Because
Yeah.
I love international markets.
Oh, several.
So there's the Ron Chang, which is like a Chinese like supermarket, and that's over at 10th of the Bypass near Sushi Bar, but in that strip mall.
Right.
And then there's International Market on 4th Street.
Oh, real
which
close
has-
to us, right?
Yeah.
which has probably 5-minute walk from WonderLab.
Perfect.
And so they do gyros in there, which are really good, and then they also have dats, which is Cajun. So a nice like chili cheese etouffee with crawfish.
Great. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So yeah, right there.
Yep.
All
There's
right.
the World Market on 2nd and
Yeah, it used to be Sahara Mart.
Walnut.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
second and then I know there's more. Little Italy, which
Oh.
is in the 3rd Street strip mall with like Gables Bagels. They do really good sandwiches. He's going to talk your ear off, so don't go if you're in a hurry.
That's
I'm telling you, don't.
They also have lots of really good pasta varieties.
Yeah, but they've
there.
had a lot of eclectic, international, different meats, cheeses, pastas, sauces, you name it.
It's
All
also right near what's that? I'm blanking on the name of
Rush
the
Hour Station?
Thank you, Rush Hour, which has the banh mi's and the pho, which is nice. Yeah.
All right.
What's the international market that's over by? It's on Covenanter, and it's a kind of across
you're
from
right.
Kroger's.
It's across from Bangkok Thai.
It's like Bloomington International Market.
Yes.
Actually, that's a great store. We shop there every week.
All right.
And Fresh Time has some good stuff too. We just got Berber. Is that how you say Berber? It's the spice mix for Ethiopian food.
I don't know.
I like to cook, and so I was just, and you can find pretty much the ingredients you need here. So I started Ethiopian this week.
There you go.
Yeah, and we got that
Fantastic.
kind of
Okay.
B-Town International. You can get stuff.
You got options.
You got options
I'm
for
glad,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Favorite restaurant in town?
Right now it's Kimu.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Love it.
So
Absolutely love it.
Kimu is like Burmese.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It used to be called Burma Garden. Got new owners. Now it's called Kimu, and it has a Burmese menu, but also some other.
Yeah, it's got Vietnamese, it's got some Korean. The owners actually own a similar restaurant with the same name in Greenwood, which is how we discovered it. We were in Greenwood. My wife is from Greenwood, and we used to go to the Greenwood one all the time. And he goes, there's one in Bloomington. And we were like, what? Like, we're like in Bloomington. And so now we go to that one. And it's phenomenal.
That's perfect.
It's really good.
I love it. Any other needs that we can help you with here, Dallas, in your transition to living in Bloomington?
I think I'm good for now.
Oh,
Maybe
here's-
later I'll
here's
ask you about
Kimu.
physicians and dentists, but right now I'm good.
Physicians and dentists.
Well, I can't thank you enough for your guys' time. It's been so nice getting to know you.
Thanks
getting
for
to
having
getting to hang
us.
out with you. Absolutely.
Letting us bring our props.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
things.
I'm just going to wrap it up the same way we started.
Do it.
We can do it.
But WonderLab is just such a great asset for Bloomington, for the community. It's so important, as you guys have thoroughly displayed and discussed the importance of having a place like WonderLab in Bloomington. So thanks for everything that you guys do, and thanks for taking the time on to come and be silly with me.
They're trippy.
Hey, yeah, this has been fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
You
Cheers,
guys
guys.
you're all in rainbows. I like it.
It's like, I wish you guys could see what I'm seeing. It's like, I'm getting attacked. Anyway, sorry. Thanks, guys.
Sure thing.
What another fun episode, huh, gang? Thanks to Visit Bloomington, as always, for being our presenting sponsors. Thanks to Everywhere Science for this cool sign. Nate and team hooked it up. And thanks to you for watching so we can keep doing this. See you next Tuesday morning with another new episode of the No Dishes Podcast. This episode of the No Dishes Podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.